Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. We are live here in Sri Lanka in Kandy. You can see in the backdrop, this is beautiful Kandy. And we are reporting back for the Asia Cup. Plenty to chat about. The big tournament has started. कल मैच है बड़ा इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान. मौसम के बारे में बहुत चर्चा हो रहा है. अभी फिलहाल it's clear skies. There's no rain right now. 24 आवर्स बिफोर द गेम, लेकिन ऐसा लग रहा है कि शाम में बारिश का प्रोडिक्शन है और कल भी प्रोडिक्शन है 2-3 बजे. एक फ़र्क यह है कि भाई कल जो है अब हमारा होटल और जो प्लेयर्स जहाँ पे भी ठहरे लोग जो कैंडी में रह रहे, कल बारिश हो रही थी कैंडी में, लेकिन पल्लेकल्ले में जहाँ स्टेडियम है विच इज़ लाइक 15-20 मिनट्स फ्रॉम द होटल्स, वहाँ पे बारिश नहीं हो रही थी. द होल मैच बिटवीन बांग्लादेश एंड श्रीलंका वाज गोइंग ऑन. एट द सेम टाइम इट वाज रेनिंग लाइक right next to me in the balcony in the hotel, and I could see on the TV the match is going on. So थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे वो confusion है यहाँ पे. So there is a bit of bright spark कि match हो सकता है कल, if not 50 overs, some shortened thing, because पालेकले का जो forecast है वो नहीं दिखाता weather update पे, वो कैंडी का दिखाता है, and थोड़ा फर्क है. It's like Chirag bhai was joined us saying Johnny Sins and क्या लगा दिया भाई, but like how he lives in Delhi, there's Gurgaon, Noida, कभी यहाँ पे बारिश होती कभी वहाँ पे नहीं होती. So that is the system here यहाँ पे पालेकले और कैंडी के फर्क यही है कि like I mean it's part of Kandy only, but it's a bit further down. So that was a very interesting observation for me yesterday, because it was raining right here and I couldn't understand how the match was going on जब यहाँ पे बारिश हो रही थी. सिस्टम but कल अगर मैच हुआ तो बड़ा मुकाबला होगा, इंडिया वर्सेस पाकिस्तान. ऑल आइज ऑन दैट. यहाँ पे पाकिस्तान टीम भी पहुंच गई आफ्टर देयर विन अगेंस्ट नेपाल. इंडियन टीम भी आल्सो रेडी टू गो. आज उनका प्रैक्टिस है 5 बजे इंडियन टाइम से. दे विल बी प्रैक्टिसिंग. देयर इज अगेन रेन फोरकास्टेड फॉर दैट टाइम शाम में. अभी तो क्लियर है, अभी तो कुछ भी नहीं, आप देख सकते हैं ये कैंडी है इधर. दिस इज द ब्यूटीफुल बैकड्रॉप. देयर इज नो रेन राइट नाउ, लेकिन शाम में थोड़ा फोरकास्टेड आप देखेंगे वो कैंडी का है या पहले कले का है बारिश, वी डोंट नो. But yes, the players will be going, the Indian team will be practicing today at 5 p.m. and preparing for the all-important battle against Pakistan tomorrow. It's going to be a huge match between two big teams. Hopefully we get to see a game. A lot of interesting battles देखना चाहेंगे हम लोग, whether the Shaheen versus Rohit or Kohli versus Haris, Shadab versus Hardik. A lot of key battles that we want to look forward to. And yeah, for India, this is going to be the first game of the tournament. Let's see how they play 50 over cricket. The likes of Kohli and Rohit, there's been a very time since they played, whereas Pakistan have been playing consistently in the last couple of weeks. They've been playing a lot of ODI cricket against inferior opposition, so this is also going to be a test for them. So बहुत मजे का मैच रहेगा, कॉन्टेस्ट बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. कल का जो मैच था बांग्लादेश और श्रीलंका का, श्रीलंका absolutely dominated. I was surprised because they had so many injuries. There was no Hasaranga. They had 4 or 5 big players missing, but they put up a very good performance. Patirana, man, what a performance from him, the new Malinga, and especially to replicate that in the 50 over format. I'm very impressed, because everyone was saying that he's young, T20 में ठीक है चल गया 4 ओवर धोनी के अंडर, but कल जो bowling करा उन्हें, very impressive. Line in length was at its peak and really good pace as well. I was very impressed by that boy, man. And that's a big win for Sri Lanka, because मैं समझा Bangladesh will qualify from this group. They still have the opportunity if they beat Afghanistan, but I felt their team was a bit more sorted. They had a good batting lineup, experienced. Apart from Shanto, nobody stepped up. The likes of Mushfiqur, Shakib, and these guys didn't step up to the plate. But even Latendas, but they had मेरे हिसाब से a better, more balanced team. So it's a huge win for Sri Lanka. Now they're 1 win away from the round of 4. कल का मैच इसलिए important है, India Pakistan. Whoever wins will, if Pakistan win, they will qualify. If India win, then they just have to beat Nepal, and they should also qualify for that round of 4. So for India, if they lose, of course you still expect them to beat Nepal, but वो थोड़ा सा pressure add हो जाता, तो it's a big game for them against Pakistan. Last year पहला round India जीती थी और पाकिस्तान second round जीती थी. अब ये time round देखेंगे क्या होता. The pitch yesterday, it was a bit slow. We saw, even though Sri Lanka chased down to score comfortably, they did lose a few wickets along the way. There was help for the spinners too. For the faster bowlers, अगर variation के साथ जो फास्टर बॉलर्स डाल रहे थे, उन लोग को थ्रू द लाइन मारना थोड़ा मुश्किल हो गया था. एंड आई फाउंड दैट वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. सो you'll see the likes of probably if Shardul plays, you'll see him mix it up. But even the spinners, Kuldeep, Shadab, these guys will have a lot of assistance, I think, in tomorrow's game. And उनका जो contribution रहेगा वो बहुत important रहेगा. तो देखना पड़ेगा क्या होगा. आई थिंक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस भी आज रहेगा, कप्तान क्या बोलेंगे दोनों. दोनों टीम से कप्तान क्या बोलेंगे, क्या कैसा देख रहे हैं मैच को, वो भी इंटरेस्टिंग रहेगा, क्या सवाल पूछेंगे, क्या जवाब रहेगा, प्रेपरेशन तैयारी कैसी हो रही है. It'll be interesting to see if the practice does go on, the weather stays clear, how they practice, who's playing for India. That big question, number 4 पे कौन खेल रहा, number 3 पे कौन खेल रहा. That will be another question. Shreyas Iyer looks like he's fit and he will start. KL Rahul is not playing, so that means Ishan Kishan plays. Where does he bat? That's another question that the management has to answer, and we'll only find that out tomorrow, I think. अगर आज पूछे भी तो शायद जवाब नहीं मिलेगा. ओनली टाइम विल टेल. लेकिन मेरे को ऐसा दिख रहा है कि कल ही पता चलेगा ईशान किशन अगर ओपन कर रहा है या मिडिल ऑर्डर में बैटिंग कर रहा है. तो ये एक सवाल है. फिर आपका तीसरा सीमर कौन होगा? विल इट बी सिराज, शमीन, बुमराह, और विल यू गो विद शार्दुल, और विल यू प्ले द एक्स्ट्रा स्पिनर एंड अक्षर पटेल एंड टेक आउट एंड प्ले ओनली 2 फास्ट बॉलर्स? ये भी और एक सवाल रहेगा कि इंडियन टीम का मैनेजमेंट का कॉम्पोजिशन ये रहेगा. जो भी हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं, प्लीज लाइक और सब्सक्राइब. अभी हम कैंडी में है, रिपोर्ट कर रहे हैं लाइव. ये देख सकते हैं बैकड्रॉप, अभी मौसम क्लियर है. वहाँ पे आपको बादल थोड़े आ रहे हैं शायद वहाँ से, लेकिन इट्स क्लियर राइट नाउ. और जैसा मैं बोला चिराग भाई को, आप लोग भी सुन लो कि आज कल भी कैंडी में बारिश हो रही थी लगातार. यहाँ पे ये बैल्कनी में जहाँ बैठा हूँ, यहाँ पे बारिश हो रही थी, मगर सेम टाइम पे पालकले में मैच चल रहा था. 15 मिनट का डिस्टेंस है, बट देयर वाज अ बिग डिफरेंस इन नो रेन देयर एंड रेन हियर. तो कल भी ऐसा हो सकता है, बिकॉज अभी जो फोरकास्ट वेदर अपडेट्स दिखा रहे गूगल पे और हर जगह पूरे एप्स पे, वो कैंडी का फोरकास्ट दिखा रहे. सो इवन इफ इट्स रेनिंग हियर डजंट मीन दैट वी माइट नॉट गेट अ गेम देयर. उम्मीद रखो, फिर भी अब देखेंगे क्या होता है. मे बी इट्स अ वॉश आउट, मे बी क्रिकेट ना हो कल, बट आई एम पॉजिटिव कि कुछ ना कुछ मैच मिल जाएगा कल. इफ नॉट 50 overs, at least a 20 or 30 over match. I don't think 3 seamers will play. Yeah, I mean, that's the big question. If they don't, they might go with that extra spinner, or if they go for the third seamer, then it might be Shardul. They might not go 3 out and out seamers. But looking at the pitch, looking at the conditions, even the yesterday's game, it looks like maybe Akshar Patel might get a chance. They might go with the 3 spinners and try to attack Pakistan. In that sense, and then they'll bolster their batting too with Akshar Patel there. That'll give them a lot of confidence. So yeah, only time will tell. Let's see what happens, what composition they play with. Pakistan is a bit more straightforward because Shadab and Nawaz will both bat. They'll play with their 3 seamers. I think Haris, Shaheen, and Haris, Shaheen, and Naseem. And then they have Iftikhar as an option if they need a spinner, and Salman Agha. So they have 2 extra spinners as options if required. So they have more flexibility in that composition. Aksar, Jaddu, and Kuldeep, or Tilak, Jaddu, and Kuldeep. Yeah, interesting that you mentioned Tilak. He's here. He's with the team. He's in the squad. And also the fact that he rolls his arm over, that might be something that Rohit Sharma considers. Also, he gives you that left-handed option in the top 4. But I think because Ishan Kishan will be playing the first couple of games, maybe they won't go to Tilak because they already have a left-hander in the top order. But because he still rolls his arm over, he gives you that flexibility. Maybe you might see him. But I think Akshar Patel, who's also a left-hander, but lower down the order, you might get to see him because he'll give you a few more overs, I think, and experience more than anything else. Like, and it's not been great last few months for him, so he will be tested if he does play Akshar Patel, especially against the Pakistan batting lineup who do play spin well. I think another confidence thing for Pakistan is that, you know, Rizwan now settling in that middle order. Iftikhar hitting 100 in that middle order. The middle order looks a bit more composed now. Yes, it was against Nepal, but runs are runs, right? Like, that is the currency you see in cricket. No matter who the opposition is, if you're scoring runs, you're in form. And that will give Pakistan a lot of confidence that the middle order has got runs under their belt. Yes, they will be playing against a much more talented and a much more difficult Indian bowling attack. Lekin, मैं जैसा बोला, runs under your belt will always give you that confidence going to any पर्टिकुलर गेम. तो देखना पड़ेगा उस हिसाब से, यू नो, इंडिया का मिडल ऑर्डर कैसा रहेगा. थोड़ा रशीनेस तो रहेगा. श्रेयस अय्यर, हाउ इज ही फीलिंग today? We'll have to see him closely in the nets, how he's batting, you know, whether is there any issues, how much the physio is attending to him, because he'll be up against Haris Rauf. Will be peppering with bounces, guarantee ले लो. अगर उन्हें बैटिंग कर रहा Haris Rauf को, I think Babar will bring him into the attack even if he's not in the attack, and pepper him with short balls, and that will test not only his skill against the short ball but also test his injuries. It will test everything, his rustiness, and फिर आपको पता चल जाएगा कि चले सर कौन से level पे है अभी फिलहाल. But I'm really excited. It should be a really good game. Hopefully, if the weather stays clear, मजा तो आएगा भाई. India Pakistan का match है. This is what we live for. This is what we look forward to. ये games both minimal रहते हैं. I know it's not the World Cup, but Asia Cup still a big tournament. And India Pakistan match wherever you play on the planet, it's always a huge game. Everyone will be watching. It's the weekend, and you want to see a good contest between both teams. Hopefully, goes down to the wire, and hopefully we get another game next week too. Yeah, आप जो भी बोलो, ये game is the big match. It's the big billing encounter. Everyone will be glued to this, and hopefully we get to see a proper contest between both teams. And then yeah, I think after this game, India will have another game on Monday against Nepal. अब Monday को भी बारिश दिखा रहा है. अब देखेंगे क्या होता है. अगर दोनों rain drought होते हैं India के games, they'll still go through because they'll get 2 points. But hopefully, fingers crossed, the weather stays clear and we get to see some action because they will be ready to go. I think India as well. It's been a while. There's been a lot of conjecture, a lot of talk. भाई इन्हें कहाँ खेल रहा है, इन्हें क्या कर रहा है, team selection का ये वो. But I think now the team is probably like they're in that mode. They're in the zone. You saw them. Yesterday they landed here and. They all look like in the zone. They want to play some good hard cricket and let their bat and ball speak for themselves rather than all this talk. Who's going to bat at 4? Who's going to bowl? How is this fitness? How is that fitness? There's been a lot of talk. So I think they just want to get on the field and play some cricket. You can see that they look focused. They look like they're ready to go, raring to go. And it should be a good game. Recently Pakistan have played really well against India. Normally we say Pakistan plays zyada pressure, but this time I think the pressure is more on India. There's more expectations because they've also lost a few times in the last couple of years against this Pakistan team. And Pakistan have the confidence that the number one ODI team, but also Babar Azam as captain with this particular side, he's done well against this opposition, against India. So that will give Pakistan also a lot of confidence going into this game. And the bowling attack, we know that, whatever runs they have on the board, they will compete. We saw that against England in the T20 World Cup final, saw it against India as well. That match with Virat Kohli just played a spectacular knock. If it wasn't for that knock, Pakistan would have won the game. So that bowling attack will give them a lot of confidence. But again, like I mentioned, in T20 cricket is different. वहाँ पे 4 ओवर डालना पड़ता है, यहाँ पे 10 ओवर तो Haris, Naseem and Shaheen, it's not like then they can't. They can, but sustaining it over 10 overs will always be that challenge. And particularly if you get a set Virat Kohli, who's batting on 80, 90 odd, and then you're going in for your 8th or 9th over, it'll be even more challenging than it was in that T20 format. So that's one thing that Pakistan will have to consider. Also, I feel that Shadab and Nawaz will play crucial roles because we've seen India sometimes susceptible to spin bowling. And Shadab, being a leg spinner, he's had a great record, in the last couple of years. And against Rohit Kohli, he'll be backing himself too. He's a wicket-taking option. They might look to score runs off him, especially if the fast bowlers keep it tight. They'll look to they'll look to attack the spinners, and वहाँ पे spinners को opportunities मिल सकते हैं भाई, wicket taking opportunities मिल सकते हैं, तो वो देखना पड़ेगा कि शादाब का कैसा रहता है. Naseem Shah is what I feel to be more dangerous. Yeah, I mean Naseem Shah is absolutely brilliant. What a talented player, and also he's improved his fitness. If you notice from last year, he looks fitter. He looks like he can go all the way now, bowl those 10 overs at full tilt. His paces don't go down too much. Before there was a big variance in his first spell and last spell, even in Test cricket, if you noticed. But now he looks fitter, he looks hungrier, and I think he's bowling at that pace more consistently than he was previously. तो यही देखना पड़ेगा. I think Kuldeep also, he's been in brilliant form with the ball. Kuldeep Bhai has been outstanding with the ball. He's been India's wicket taker. He's done really well in all formats in the over the last year, and now he's a consistent fixture in the team. That will give him the confidence too. And he has a good record against Babar. We've seen in the Asia Cup in 2018, in the World Cup 2019, he's picked up his wicket with some beautiful deliveries. So that will play in Babar's mind too. We say that there are particular matchups that Kuldeep versus Babar matchup could be a thing, because a player who's lost his wicket to a particular bowler, that does play on his mind, and sometimes he'll play a rash shot or make a mistake against him again. So that will, I think, will be a very good a contest. And sorry, compared to the last T20 World Cup and this 50 over, India now have like a proper leg spinner who's bowling every game, and that will give them the opportunities to take wickets. If he gets hit, no problem, but wickets is the currency for Kuldeep Yadav and for the leg spinners in general. So I think him being in the team will give India the contest. Another guy I'm looking forward to see, as usual, me and Chirag Bhai's favorite, Hardik Pandya. And his role, particularly with the bat, मैं देखना चाह रहा हूँ कि will it be an aggressive role, will it be an anchor role, single double का game रहेगा, or will it be something that he looks to hit from ball one, which we've seen him do, in the IPL and in the past for India also. अगर आप Champions Trophy उठा लो 2017 में, India were like 6 down for 90, and he came and played a fantastic counter-attacking innings in that same tournament against Pakistan in the first game. Even then, he hit 20 of 6 balls, I think, and India won that game. So, I would like to see him in that kind of role because it puts pressure on the opposition. And when he gets going and he starts hitting those sixes, there's no one like him. So I would like, even if he gets out, I would like him to focus on the strike rate and try to hit as much as possible. I know, like, it's the situation, the context. If he plays a rash shot in a pressure situation, everyone will say, "Bhai, aisa shot kyun khela?" But still, I think if you want to get the best of Hardik Pandya, you get him into that finishing role. He's aggressive, whatever position he comes in. If he can play, how he naturally does his natural game, which is looking to attack, that will give India a lot of things because they have other players like Jadeja, Shreyas Iyer who can anchor, who can rotate the strike. But if Hardik can play that role, it'll be brilliant. And then how many overs will he bowl with the ball? वो भी एक सवाल रहेगा. It's a 50-over game. 10 overs is the maximum. How will he be used as a bowler? Will he be given the new ball at times? Will he given the older ball? There's been a lot of talk that India's batsmen don't bowl like Yuvraj used to, Sachin Sehwag used to, but also at that team they didn't have one thing which this team has, which is a fast bowling all rounder. No matter who it is, what it is, that is a different weapon that you can use, and it can be very effective in a game. And Hardik can bowl 140 के ऊपर भाई, उसका मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि उन्हें he just comes and just wobbles it around. नहीं, he has that serious pace. He can cause problems for the batters. तो उन्हें कितने overs डाल सकता है ये tournament में? Keep an eye on that. It'll be important for India going forward. Like you mentioned, going into every tournament, he is one of the key players to look at. So I will be excited to see how he plays, what his role is with both bat and ball, because we've seen in recent past he's taken a bit more responsibility, taking a bit more time to settle in. We saw that in the World Cup, also in the T20 World Cup, in the semis, and previously as well. Let's see in the 50 overs. Also, the position he bats in, there's talk that he might bat at 5. I would like to see him at 6, but it doesn't really make a difference. 5, 6, it's a similar kind of position. It's just his approach. That's what I'm looking at more than the position he's batting at. His approach, wherever he comes in, just want him to be Hardik Pandya or go and try to top the ball and inflict pressure on the opposition, because he can be that X factor. You don't have Rishabh Pant right now. You need someone who can take the attack to the opposition, put the pressure on, apply it on the opposition, make them think twice, thrice. Even if you're 20 for 4 and somebody comes in and scores a quick fire 50, it instills a bit of fear in the opposition, makes them make mistakes, and it can get you out of games, out of difficult situations. And he is that player who can do it. Rishabh not being there, of course, Ishan Kishan also is that kind of player. Lekin Hardik is more experienced. He's done it on occasions before, so I would like to see him doing that. But yeah, we'll continue to give you coverage throughout the day. कल भी आपके साथ जुड़ते रहेंगे. Hopefully शाम में फैज भी जुड़ जाएगा आज हमारे साथ. And yeah, make sure you like and subscribe for the latest updates. Whoever is joining, make sure you share it with your friends and family, and we'll give you as many live updates as we can from here. So far, like, I'm just checking, अभी तक तो बारिश नहीं हो रही. Mustafa, in what situation will you play Shardul? In what situation will I play him? I guess, initially I would go with the extra bowler with Siraj, Shami, and Bumrah. But when it comes to a situation where you're playing on a surface where it's a bit slow, it helps variations, which maybe Palekal it does, because we saw that yesterday. Where it grips his bit, variations can help, slow pass can help. I would play him because he's a wicket-taking option. It's not just Ocha on batting ke saath karta, because it's not always going to be that number 8 who's going to win you with the bat. But if I have to look at it from the bowling perspective, what he can offer me first, right? If I just pick him solely because he can bat, I know that like it happens. But if I just pick him with that sole purpose, then it's defeating the purpose. I want to see how I can get the most out of him. I can get most out of him in conditions where it's slow, where the ball is gripping, where the cutters are working, where the slower ball is difficult to hit. And you might see that in conditions here in Sri Lanka, as we've seen so far. So maybe I play him in those kind of conditions, in that situation. And yeah, of course, it gives you that added benefit that he can bat too. But that's how I would like to see him. But where maybe like in Ahmedabad, where it's bouncy, you get swing and everything, that's where I would go Shami, Siraj, and Bumrah. So in those kind of conditions, then you make the argument, if it's slow and stuff, why don't you play the extra spinner? But sometimes it's that faster bowler who can bowl like quick like a quick spinnerish, that he can be more effective in those conditions. That's why I'll probably go in that situation. Like a faster cutter might be more effective than Akshar Patel, who's bowling with a smaller run up. That's just my opinion. It's not like any fact or anything like that. Proven science, वैसा तो है नहीं. But that's probably the situation where I play, where the ball is gripping a bit, where it's a bit slow, too paced. वहाँ पे मेरे हिसाब से I think Mr. Shah Thakur can pick up some wickets, and that's how I'll play. That's where I'll probably play him. But Pakistan also, one concern that they have is the top order, Imam and Fakhar. Yeah, we've seen Imam score runs in the recent past, but Fakhar Zaman in particular in these conditions in the subcontinent, uska record utna khas nahi reh chuka hai. He has a good record against India. We remember the Champions Trophy final. Lekin, in these conditions, he has to find a technique where he can tackle the spinners. Also, the faster bowlers, where it's a bit stopping, a bit how he can still continue to hit through the line. How can he continue to score runs and be productive as a batter for opening batter for Pakistan? That will be a key factor. So watch out for him as well. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Thank you so much, Iraq Bhai. Thank you, Anshum. Thank you everybody who has joined. Really appreciate your time. And हम लोग जुड़ते रहेंगे आपके साथ आज throughout the day और कल भी जुड़ेंगे. Make sure you subscribe to Chasing the Target on YouTube, on Instagram and Twitter, and we'll get to the latest from the Asia Cup. We'll get to the latest from the other games too. Faz is covering those matches as well. We saw Australia, South Africa play a T20, England versus New Zealand as well. Mitchell Marsh played a fabulous innings a couple of days ago. वो जबरदस्त क्या मारा था उन्हें, तो वो भी कवर कर रहे हैं आज. I think second T20 है डरवर में, तो वो भी आपको फैज लेके अपडेट्स आएंगे. मैं यहाँ से पालेकले से कैंडी से जो भी अपडेट्स है प्रैक्टिस के बाद, प्रैक्टिस के दौरान जो भी है मैं आपको लेके आऊँगा होपफुली. एंड आप लोग नोटिफिकेशन की घंटी दबा दो और लाइक और सब्सक्राइब करो. वी आर हियर इन श्रीलंका एंड विल गेट यू द लेटेस्ट फ्रॉम द एशिया कप. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग, एंड अभी बहुत जल्द मिलेंगे फिर. थैंक यू.